Hey, beautiful human, you clicked on our conversation with Gnash. Good man. This is his debut album. It's out now. Totally deserves your ear. He's going to talk all about it, the process, life. He's a good person. Positive, real energy. Leave your honest feedback in the comment section below. We got a podcast link in the description, and it'd be really cool if you subscribe, but if not, we're not going to stop. By the way, this is our first interview of 2019. Enjoy.
Let's do this.
Cool. Dan's here. Gnash is here.
Hey.
Also known as Garrett.
Yes.
You
This
are-
is a Garrett interview.
An honor.
What's the difference between Gnash and Garrett?
Nash and
You're
Garrett
coming in low, though.
Nash and Garrett are like pretty much the same thing. It's just Nash is like Nash doesn't have two cats, I guess, is the big difference.
So what does Gnash have instead?
Nash has like an imaginary best friend who tells him to make songs about how he feels.
Is that imaginary best friend Garrett?
Yeah.
How do you... Okay.
I try to separate them just for my own personal sanity so that I can go home at night and detach and not have to feel like I have to like be on social media or like do any of that stuff and just kind of like somewhat have a normal life sometimes, because like I my phone and I have like a not great, like we have an on and off relationship.
I totally understand that. I'm very active on your Twitter, and
I know.
I respect
as yours. Yeah.
You like my stuff. I appreciate
yeah.
that. But you get hooked on this stupid thing.
Yeah. I've been like lately doing I've been charging my phone in the living room.
Oh, whoa. Separate yourself.
Yes. And so what I realized, because I was doing a lot of like wake up in the middle of the night, grab the phone, start scrolling.
Yeah.
And then you don't sleep for an hour, right? Because I kind of wake up from time to time doing that, especially the last couple months, just with the album coming and the tour coming up and all this stuff and being kind of worried about it and everything.
I get it. Hold on. I'm a sound person.
Yeah.
You don't sound right. Right? He doesn't sound right?
Sounds good to me.
Do you think you sound good?
I don't have headphones on.
Yes, you do.
Your headphones don't work?
Not right now.
This is what happens when we lose Heather. Dan and I have to run everything, and we have no idea.
What happened to Heather?
Heather moved back to Jersey.
Miss her.
So now it's me and Zach trying to figure this out by ourselves.
Oh, man.
It never works out too well.
We'll figure it out.
Turn yourself up.
I don't necessarily need the headphones.
No, you do. Hold on. It's my new microphone because I'm a crazy person.
We can always start like a clean start too if you want to do it that way.
I'm listening intently because I have
This is a
weird-
pre-interview.
This is a weird ability that I could do both, but you sound it's fine. I just wanted to make sure the volume
great.
was right and
Perfect,
everything
cool.
was feeding perfectly.
chilling.
Wait, so okay, Gnash and Garrett. This album though, obviously you follow the three of them. This is you as a person,
Yeah.
But Gnash is the vehicle.
No, it's not that confusing. It's honestly just like I like to think that eventually I'll have a lot of projects. I look up to people like Andrew McMahon and people like that who have had like Jack's Mannequin and Something Corporate and now his own Andrew McMahon and the Wilderness Band. And I like to think one day I'll do a Garrett Nash project, right? And maybe one day I'll do a band, or maybe one day I'll do a DJ project or whatever it is.
So keeping
Nash
options
is just
open.
What? Oh yeah, keep them all open. Yeah, exactly. So like right now, Nash is just the vehicle for the creation. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be like overly committed to that thing, because like, you know, maybe I'll make I make songs all the time that don't necessarily feel like Nash songs, so maybe they deserve a different artist project name, but it's still Garrett making them. You know what I mean?
Because this album
Yeah.
is so personal. I feel like
Yeah.
I felt like I was inside of your head.
That's cool.
It was, but at the same time, understanding myself and realizing things in myself. Because, you know, one of the lines in the album, on one of the songs, you literally say we're all the same.
Yeah, we're one and the same, so play the cards that you're dealt. Nobody likes you more than when you're being yourself.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that's your insecurity.
What are you going through to realize that?
Man. So, as a lot of people know, I had a lot of success with a song called I Hate You, I Love You.
Yeah.
And
Huge record.
yeah, it was awesome, and I'm extremely thankful for it. And I think that like what a lot of people don't talk about is like everything feels amazing when you're like coasting and and you're able to be like, nah, I'm cool on that. Like this, I'll do that. Like whatever. Or, like I'll go here, I'll do that. The doors are all open. But nobody really talks about what it feels like when the doors close and the song's not on the radio anymore, and how that feels to the individual who like did so much work and all these things. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that it's a crazy mental shift to basically all of a sudden wake up one day and be like, oh, like I got to do it again. Right. And so, and I think everybody knows that feeling in whatever way. You have the biggest interview of your life, and 4 days later, you're like, oh, I got to find the next one now. You know what I mean?
People are on to the next thing.
But with a song like that, it could have. If you could go back and do something differently after that song?
Yeah.
Is there anything you would do?
You know what's funny? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. What I would do is I would appreciate the present more at the time, because I think that then the universe or God or spirit or whatever you want to call it would have been more giving more quickly to me. And what I'm fortunate for is that actually I wasn't appreciative of the present moment at the time as much as I should have been. And so what that forced me to do is go down a path of basically learning who I am and really being aware of my own mental like stability and emotion and feeling and all of the things that I like hadn't ever really addressed and kind of just like let get away from me because I had all these amazing things going on. And so what happened was, because I wasn't present and because I wasn't appreciative of the every single moment and all these amazing things that were happening to me, I started putting out more music and none of it reacted the same way, because I was like, well, it'll just work like Hate You Love You did, right?
You were focused on the next hit.
I was focused on the next hit or the next big thing or whatever the next thing was going to be, because I was like, oh, cool, now this is the standard of feeling. I'll get that again, no problem. And it's like, no, like what I had was like lightning in a bottle. It's one in a gazillion trillion. And like now retrospectively, I'm so grateful and so thankful. And so now every little thing that happens, I'm present and I'm thankful for in the moment, because I know how quickly it comes and I know how quickly it goes. And I know how it feels when it goes. And so now what I do is, we're doing like Broken Hearts Club meetings after the shows every night, where we get everybody to talk about being present, and we take deep breaths together, and we've got meditation teachers traveling with us to teach people how to be present and all these things, that lessons I wish I had known going into that. Because who knows if maybe at that show there's a person that, maybe they're 16, 17, and in 3 weeks they're going to be hanging out with their homies, they're going to have a song idea and it's going to blow up, and all of a sudden they're going to be next. Number 4 and I'm going to be number 5 on the chart, right? I want them to go into that being like, man, like he did say to like be appreciative of the moment, and hopefully hold on to that, because like, or whatever it is they go on to do. Because if you're not appreciative of that every single moment, then when it's gone, you're like defeated, like it's like a personal attack. Like, wait, what do you mean? Like I'm not getting invited to this or doing that or whatever, And so anyway, so if I could go back and do anything different, that's what I would do. And so that's kind of what Imagine If is all about, and why I connected with that song so much, and why we made that like pretty much the first single from the record after Broken Hearts Club. The chorus is like, if I could go back just for a night, I'd see the future and make it all right. Because it was like, at the time I heard that song, when that came into my email, that's how I felt. I was like, man, if I could just go back and like redo it all, this is how I would do it. And I would like fix it all, and I would do it right, and I'd stay offline, and I wouldn't worry about what people say or think. I'd worry about what I think and how the people around me feel, and loving people and being peaceful and grateful and conscious and present. And all of those things now are what I'm trying to apply to the present moment and what I've been working on. And so Dear Insecurity, on the other end of that spectrum, was a song that I made. It was the last song I made for the record, where Imagine If was the first song. And so between those two songs, you see the growth, where I start out basically apologizing to myself. And then I end with being like, I have to be myself to grow. And that's why the cover of the album is all the flowers that are on the back of the shirt. And basically, like, because I planted a garden for everybody else's flowers to grow with the songs. So it really like made my year to hear that you saw a lot of yourself in it, because that's where I was coming from. Because the album I wanted to instill all of these things I learned in the best way I know how, which is song form, for people to be able to allow their gardens to grow on top of. So that they can use what I've made as the seeds, and then they can kind of bloom from there.
Sparks a whole movement.
Yeah, that's what I'm aiming to do. I wanna like make people aware of being here and being grateful and being yourself. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with, and like it's crazy, but like I really do feel like this is like my purpose in life, is to try and help people.
And you can see that in the records. You can see it in the community that you're building, which I think...
Thanks for calling it a community. I appreciate that.
From understanding yourself and from understanding that the fact that what you feel is shared by so many others, you really can and are doing a lot of good.
Absolutely. Yeah, because if we feel together, then we'll feel better. That's the mission statement of the album. If we feel together, then we will feel better.
It's nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you always have each other's backs, right?
Exactly.
Dear Insecurity, hard song to write? Challenge?
Did you read that somewhere else, or did you just take that?
No, I'm listening to it and I'm thinking to myself, I look at myself and I think these things, but the idea of actually physically writing it down and having to then see it, but then also eventually hear it.
You want to know how long that song took me to finish?
It's a forever mirror.
From hearing Ben play me the chorus to finishing the last final time I recorded a verse on it.
How long?
1 year and 2 months.
What kept changing, or what wasn't right?
What a journey. So Ben came to my house, who sings the chorus. Ben Abraham, fantastic songwriter and singer, one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard.
He's on the record.
Yeah, he sings the chorus until I sing the last one. He's fantastic. He's the only feature on the album just because I was like, I need that, because it's so honest when he sings it.
By the way, you pick really incredible vocalists.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
Superb.
I'm like an A&R.
It's nice.
Secondary to artists.
You give the right opportunity to the right people.
Thanks, man.
And you're never going big, you're going right.
Right. Well, and on I wanted to kind of bring it down to one voice so that everybody could kind of imply their own perception. But moving forward, I'm going to go back into full collaboration world on the next projects and stuff. I'm excited. I've already got a couple things rocking. Cool. But yeah, so Dear Insecurity, Ben came over to my house. He came in and he was like, hey, I have this idea. I don't even really know the chords yet. And I could tell, I don't know if this is the case, but I thought he was kind of trying to figure out the chord progression while like singing it for me. But he kind of like played this thing and he just started singing, Dear Insecurity, when are you going to take your hands off me? When are you going to let me be proud of who I am? And like in that moment, I was like, I'm not there yet, but I know I want to be. God. So I need this song on my album.
So you saw it as it was really a moment for you to realize growth.
Yes. It was a moment to realize that I still had more growth to do. And so I made it a challenge to myself that through that song, I was going to basically metaphorically grow. A lot like what I did with the EPs, right? I set out from the beginning to do You, Me, and Us. And I said at the beginning of it, by the end of You, Me, and Us, I want to put one out every 6 months, and by the end of that, I want to be over this breakup. Because we were in a relationship for like 2 years. I wanted to be over it by 1.5 years. I like set that goal for myself, and I totally was, and it was effective because it was cathartic, because I was making all of this music about it, and it all worked out in the long run.
Therapeutic and
cathartic, yeah, for me. So it was cathartic because I was getting it off my chest, and therapeutic because everybody else connected with it. And people kind of were like, oh, I get this. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't really know anybody would, but that's good to hear. And so it helped advance it even quicker.
So it's like you're kind of setting markers for yourself or goals.
I do, yeah. I'm very like...
Hey friends, sorry for the interruption, but if you're considering going back to school, you should ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? 2, do you have college credits that you need transferred? 3, do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs, 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree that you want on campus from wherever you are, totally on your schedule. That's awesome. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits, so it's easy. If you want more information, text Zach, Z-A-C-H, to 35517. That is Zach to 35517, so you can learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. And you ready for this? You'll also find out why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. That's like really impressive. Honestly, I kind of want to go back to school. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degree programs, text Zach to 35517. That is Z-A-C-H to 35517. Okay, let's get back to this interview. You've talked about seeing a therapist that's not music.
Yeah.
This album, do you heal through writing or do you heal and then reflect?
This album, heal and then reflect. Previously, heal through writing. So,
got it.
Yeah, so this album, I like went and would do work with my therapist or amongst myself or go meditate or do whatever. I've adopted like a lot of new like life habits that I never had before.
Respect.
So yeah, so like, you know, I brush my teeth for the whole 2 minutes now, and like, you know, just the
everything
little
I wish
that,
I
like,
could do and I don't.
yeah, but like it's like
Down to
every
brushing
day
my
I try
teeth.
to add one thing into my life that like I could do a little bit better. So like right now I feel guilty that I have a plastic water bottle because like every day I've tried to like add one thing extra. So tomorrow like
Don't
my
be.
commitment for the rest of the year will be like no more plastic.
Well,
you know?
I just read a story that those things, they collect germs, so wash it.
And also I heard recently, I can't confirm this, but that 1% of the world's water is in landfills. Because people leave the water in the bottles and toss it.
Oh,
That
just wasting all that water.
makes me
Anyway.
so angry.
Yeah,
That makes me upset.
me too. But so yeah, so Dear Insecurity, DI, as I have a tendency to call it.
I like that.
So basically Ben played me the song and then I sat with it. I wrote a couple verses to it with my friend Jimmy in Nashville, who helped me finish a lot of the songs. He was kind of like, he does the harmonies on Broken Hearts Club. We wrote that together and,
Cool.
and Feel Better together. And he was super integral to helping me like wrap everything up. So we wrote a couple verses to it and we were like, man, this is great. This is amazing. And then we played it for my record label, and Craig Kalman was like, these are fantastic, the song is fantastic, but I think that you can do like the other Gnash voice on it, if that makes sense. So previously it was much more like rappy, and he was like, I think you have to do it where he like his designation was like one voice comes from here and one voice comes from here, right? And that's kind of always been my designation on it too. And I thought that was really insightful because the song is a soul song. It's not like a thought process song, right? So I came back, reapproached it, and then basically rewrote the verses and then rewrote the bridge into the I am bit. And once I came around to the I am thing, this was, now we're talking 10, 11 months into the process. I have probably 64 or 65 different versions of Dear Insecurity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like I drove myself insane over the song to a point where like my A&R like was like, are you okay? And would like come over to the house and I would be in like the same pajamas for 3 days trying to get this song right because it was such like an emotional journey for me to complete it.
Does that song drive you to create Insane?
Yeah. Insane I wrote on my patio one day just kind of as a fun song, and then I played it, and then Jeff, my A&R, loved it and was like, this should be on the record. But Insane was in the process of finishing Dear Insecurity. Yeah, that's when I wrote that. I was losing it.
I mean, you had to have been, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I was like, I know that this song matters. I know this song is going to help people. And now when you go, we've been doing arts and crafts for the VIP package, whatever you want, VIP
great.
or whatever. But yeah, like we call it arts and crafts with Gnash. And like everybody does like Dear Insecurity lyrics. A guy had a DI tattoo last night of the flower. Like that is the one. And I'm so thankful that like people are like really connecting with that song because like I really connect with that. So I really connect with all of them. But that one is like so honest and so genuine and so like exactly me in those moments where like every line in that song pretty much is from a different take of a different day over the course of a year and a half, pretty much down to the word. Like that's how long it took me. Wow. That song, like when you look at the session, there's like probably 100 vocal tracks because I'd do 10 passes and then be like, it's not right. And then put it away for the day, come back to it the next day. And then like all the while was like going over to my friend Ahmad Royal's house to like finish production on this song or like fly to Nashville to do that. And the whole process, I was like trying to get Dear Insecurity done. So like that song actually was kind of like the guy, I mean, Ethan saw me every single day. I'd be in the room and I'd be cutting the vocals to a point where people were like, when is this song going to be done? We need to get it out. Like, I don't think I finished the vocals until like 2 weeks before the song came out finally.
Do you feel pressure or responsibility to get it right or because the meanings behind the songs are deep, not just for you, but for the person on the receiving end?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel a responsibility just to be the best me I can be. And so like,
even if it drives you crazy?
Yeah, because it wasn't really driving me like crazy. It was like almost igniting this thing in me that like wants to be perfect. But then the whole joke of the song is that every time I would finish a pass of the verse, I would say my imperfections make me perfect. I'd do that 10 times and then be like, not right yet, moving on. You know what I mean? And then like do the next pass of the verse or whatever. And so like I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't drive me crazy necessarily because the whole time I was keeping in mind, like, if I do this and I really mean it, I have to really mean it. And my energy behind it has to really mean it, every single word. And I would not let a take go through until I really meant it. And I knew that would connect.
Well,
because at the end of the day, I just want to help people.
At what point did you know the song was done? Like, when were you satisfied?
When I did the I Am bridge.
Okay.
That's only one take, that whole bridge, with a stack vocal. And it was perfect. And I was like, yes, I have got it. I can't think about this anymore. That feels right. It's the I am, proud of the person who I am. Nobody's going to tell me who I am or who I can be. I am taking my life into my hands. I'm tired of hiding who I am because I am me. So, and then the chorus finishes out. When that got done, I was like, yep, enter, done, bounce, send. And everyone was like, what?
Yeah, what do you do after that?
Probably ate a tuna melt.
From where?
Either the 101 or Millie's on my corner. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Yeah. Some fries, maybe.
There is, back to the power of the album.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
I thought, listening to it, and I thought you were talking about a relationship with another person. But the more we talk, is it about a relationship with you?
Yeah, it's my relationship with myself. It's like Nash's relationship with Garrett, Garrett's relationship with Garrett, and Nash's relationship with Nash. And then Nash's relationship with we, which is like everybody in the world. Because like that was the idea from the beginning, is that I wanted to make sure that like every single word in every single song was going to mean something to somebody.
So besides you, and there's no singular person?
No.
No one
No. It's all about myself. So like when I'm singing the Broken Hearts Club, I think I'm talking about myself. Yeah.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
I've never really thought about it like that, but I guess that's the case.
Well, this whole time I see like you're in a relationship. I'm like, where's this broken heart coming from? What's he talking about? And I never would have put those two together, that it's yourself.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is that like if you take a step back, there is like a whole story that goes with the record, and there is like I think I was tricking myself into writing about myself by I have this whole storyline that maybe one day I'll like make a children's book or something, but it's a really great story. And so basically I would go into sessions and like tell everybody this whole story I have in my head, and everyone was like, cool, man, cool. And like I think I was like creating this fictional thing to like mask that I needed these songs for myself. And so like now in retrospect, I listen to the record, and it's been so long. I saw in my DMs today, somebody had hit me and was like, yo man, I think, I forgot who it was, but someone hit me and was like, yo man, you around, whatever? And I was like, yeah, I'm in town. I'm playing the record for the label today. And this was February of 2018.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's been done for that long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so like, then like I would take like 3 months off because we'd go into like mixing or whatever, and I'd listen to a round of it, and I would need to hear what I said already, because I'd be in the middle of tour, or I'd feel weird, or like I had just done like, I just like connected with like 300 new people at a show or something like that, and I would listen and be like, whoa, like that's crazy. And so it's like it's me speaking to myself, and so I was like, okay, like if it's already helping me feel better,
cool, I get it.
why shouldn't it help we feel better?
It's like letters to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. We're going to do that on tour for one of the meet and greets. We're going to do Valentine's Day love letters to yourself.
Dude, everybody should be doing that. That should be a trend. Start that.
Absolutely.
Write a Valentine's Day letter to yourself.
Yeah, man.
What would be on yours, Dan?
I don't know. I would have to think about that.
You should know. What do you love about yourself?
Dear Dan, you're awesome. Love Dan.
Boom. I like awesome. It's one of my favorite words lately.
It's
awesome.
A good one.
It's a tried and true, like slangy kind of word that everybody loves. Like if I say like, that's awesome to my dad, he's like, yeah, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like everyone gets awesome.
It's like it's the in-between between slang and like, you don't sound stupid saying awesome.
Totally, yeah.
You just, it's
because there's
always
like
understood.
Epic, tight, cool, like all the other ones, but awesome is just like, everyone's like, yeah, that's awesome,
Letters to yourself.
Yeah.
That's very, I wanted to know really why you waited so long between, because this is your debut album, technically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, technically.
But the world got to know you. I mean, you came to do the show the last time, what was it, year and a half ago?
Year and a half or 2 years ago. Almost 2 years. Over 2 years ago, probably now.
Wow.
Because the Sleepover Tour was a year and a half ago.
Love that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It's been a journey. And it's crazy to think that it's like, I mean, now it's the right time, right?
Yeah.
Why would you say this is the right time?
Because everything happens when it's supposed to.
Amen. It's the
I know
truth.
some people have varying beliefs on that, but like I genuinely like find faith in that, because if I don't find faith in that, then I'll just get wrapped up. Like originally the record was supposed to come out in August, and so that's why we put Broken Hearts Club out we announced Broken Hearts Club, the membership club, which is just free. You sign up with an email in February on Valentine's Day. March we put the song out, and then we did Imagine If, and then Dear Insecurity was supposed to be the last single towards the record, and then the record was going to come out, and then we held it off, and boy was that like a blow to my system, because I was like not expecting it. And then like that took like 3 months to accept, like everything's going to happen when it's supposed to, and then the date that came in was 1/1/1. And the other really cool thing about 1/1/1, one is that it adds up to 3. But the really, really cool one is that my uncle passed away about a month ago. And he was like the first person that ever showed me that I could do creative stuff for a living, because he was a children's muralist by trade. Cool. So he painted like my kindergarten playground, my bedrooms my whole life. And then like, you know, he'd go do like holiday murals or whatever, but he was just a fantastic muralist, and $100, wow. I'll paint wreaths on every window. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
That's so
and
cool.
So he passed away about a month ago, and he's been communicating to my Aunt Linny using the number 111. Linny had no idea that was the day of the record. Whoa. And down to a point that like Linny came into town, my aunt, and we all got breakfast with my family, and she's bumming, and the bill came 111. The clock 111 when we got home, like literally every single thing. So I have his hat. It's a Bubba Gump hat because he loved Forrest Gump. So I bring it with me everywhere. I brought it to the friends and family listening party, and I'll bring it with tonight.
That's
and
amazing.
I've just been putting it on the piano and stuff, because I know that like he's definitely helping guide the process. He's probably hanging here now. But yeah, so then I told Linny 111. She just like couldn't believe it. It's just like, it's been fantastic. So like, yeah, like, and like, yeah, since the second, I got really hungover on the first. So since the second, I haven't drank anything, haven't smoked any weed. Really proud of myself.
Congratulations.
Feeling really clear-minded, and feeling really focused and excited. I'm trying to drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just doing these like, respect.
I try to make myself a better me every single day. Because if I'm making me a better me every day, then maybe someone else will want to be a better them every day. And if we all do that together, and then we all add a hug to that, or a smile to that, or at least the thought of love, right? The thought of peace, the thought of generosity, gratitude, being present, then like we'll all grow together. And it's taken me I'm not sitting here trying to tell people like, yeah, tomorrow wake up and just like be you know what I mean? Like, but like that's why the record took me so long, is because like it was not just making an album, it was like me documenting this growth process.
And really understanding it.
Yeah.
And processing it, and dissecting
totally.
it.
Understanding it was like the first step, being like, okay, this is the way I think. Like my brain has been trained to think negatively before positively. I want to fix that, right? So the first thing I did is I just started, every time I'd go anywhere, I'd just be overly appreciative in my head. Wow, the sky's really blue today. Cool. Oh, that dog's cute. Hey, dog. Like all my friends know, like when we go on hikes and stuff, I'll like make up voices and talk to every single dog, because dogs are like a great place to start. They're cute, they're awesome, they got no problems with you.
Right.
So like, yeah, so I started doing that kind of stuff, plus the water, plus like meditating every day.
Healthy.
Yeah, and I just started feeling better, and then I was like, okay, now I'm like feeling more positive, because you can't do anything good for yourself unless you're working from a positive baseline.
You're right.
If when you close your eyes, you don't think like up, or see like up arrows or plus signs or the word positive or anything like that. And I go back and forth. Like yesterday I had a down day. It was all down. I was feeling down, feeling weird. You know, like I woke up too early. I like ate wrong in the morning, didn't drink enough water. By like 6 p.m. I had to take a nap. It was a totally off day. And I know that yesterday was like regressive to my like up. So I woke up this morning, first thing, meditated, drink water. Like I got back on the train, because like every time I take a step back, I try to take 2 steps forward.
Love it.
You know?
What do you do on an off day? Like how do you tell yourself like, this is just the day, it's not gonna happen forever?
That's what I try to think, is like, one, like, again, everything happens for a reason. And then two, like, I know that like tomorrow is tomorrow and I have a totally new chance to try again tomorrow. And also it's never too late to have a great day. I always try to remember that. So like, you never know what's going to happen that's going to like make your day great. So like all day I was feeling weird. And then at the meet and greet, which is only like 8 people, because these are arts and crafts things. We can't have too many people, you know? A girl proposed to her girlfriend.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you get to be the centerpiece of that.
And right there, I was like, because all day I was like, what's gonna flip this? I was trying to find like, how is it gonna change this, everything, and then boom, that happened. And then like the show was phenomenal. And then everyone after, we all meditated together. It was like bam, bam, bam. And it's like these things that remind me, like, you know, like it's not bad, Garrett. Like you got it great, man. Like you feel good, you living good, like people are happy, you make people happy, you have love to give, you get love, like
you become such a massive part in people's lives. Like to have your show in that moment and have your show be the backdrop to that. I mean, that's a moment that will literally be remembered by them forever.
I know. It was crazy. And like it's, you know, I love the little things. I got this bracelet the first night. A mom gave this to my dad who was watching the show the first night because we played Orange County, and it says "Love Without Limits." It's just a nice bracelet, so I've been wearing that every day. And then I got this card that's in my wallet that just says "Thank you," and it has a bunch of things that are like when the day gets tough and all these things. People bring me these amazing positive like affirmations. They bring me letters. They bring me all these things, and like I'm not like new to this. Like I've been doing it for a couple years, but for some reason it's all impacting me in a new way. Like I've never felt this empowered by the little things before.
But is it what you put out that brings this type of stuff to you, or was this stuff always coming, you just didn't pay it mind?
Maybe both.
Right? Because if you keep acknowledging it,
right,
you put it out there, you manifest it,
right,
and it becomes more of a concept.
Maybe both. Like I think everybody has the opportunity to achieve whatever it is they want out of life, right? I think everybody has a fair shot, and
I would love it to be a little bit more fair, but yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Talent is equally distributed. Opportunity isn't always.
That's what it is. Thank you for clarifying that.
Zip code,
I was trying to
baby.
find the right way to phrase that. And you did it great. And like, so I think, I think manifesting things, like laying down every day and thinking to myself, like, I want to help people. And then like trying to find a new way every day, or a new thought or a new thing that I want to like do that day to try and like impact people differently. You know, like I think that maybe like that's all adding up to something greater. I don't know what it is yet. Hopefully I watch this interview back. I always watch our interviews back. Cool. These are my favorite ones.
That makes me happy.
Because I always say some insightful stuff here. And then like in 3 days when I'm just having a down day, I'm going to be like, what did I say?
A pick me up. But another letter to yourself.
Right, true. Yeah.
But isn't that like sometimes on Twitter, you know, and I admit it sometimes, like I put things in writing just so I can read it.
Oh, I think that every single time I tweet something.
I don't even care if it matters to somebody else.
It's like a public diary for me.
Yeah. Hopefully it matters to somebody else, obviously, but really it's a selfish reason first, because I want to be reminded, you know, suck it up or have a great day.
Yeah, but dude, like, that, but also like it's totally fine to have a weird day too. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Totally fine to have a weird day where you just want to wear your sweatpants. Maybe you have to go into work or whatever else. Like, and I have those at this point pretty much every other day. We got me on a good day today. You know what I mean? But like tomorrow I'm gonna be like, damn, that Insane song, I feel. You know what I mean? Like,
what is there a song that came on a weird day?
Insane for sure.
Okay. When did T-shirt come?
T-shirt was the second song I wrote for the record after Nobody's Home. I wrote it with my friend Charlie Snyder, and we wrote it just as like a joke song.
I mean, it's funny. It's a great record.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
but
funny.
It seems
like,
real.
Yeah, it's totally real. And like that one obviously like is inspired by a true story for me. And like, you know, like it's obviously playing it up like I'm going to bury it or burn it or whatever. Like I'm not going to go all the way there. But, you know, that song came about early on and I love that song. And honestly, from the beginning, I didn't know this, but like all my like pop punk wisdom from growing up was gonna come to the surface a lot on the process of this album.
That music video.
Thanks, man.
It's like a 2000s pop punk dream.
I know, yeah, that was so much fun. It was like we did a whole day of just costumes for that one montage, and then the second day we did the rest of the video.
Yeah, it was like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, Bonnie, who directed It's Coming to the Party Tonight, she's fantastic, and she like put it. It's we did My Chem, Panic at the Disco, Travis Barker, Good Charlotte.
All Time Low in there.
Yeah, we did All Time Low. Yeah, I did the Alex hair. Yeah, dude, it was really fun, and T-shirt, obviously, like that one was really important to me, just to like have a fully pop punk song out, because I just like it's so fun to close the show with, you know what I mean? Like
sounds
kids,
like a pop punk song.
everybody has
really
a great
does.
time, and it's like nostalgic for people my age, and like it just feels great when you play it, and John's on the drums just murking it. Like,
we've missed it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm able to bring back a small piece of it in some way.
Do you have the shirt still? Was it an actual shirt? What did it look like?
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of based on a story my dad had. So my dad had a Letterman jacket in high school, and a girl stole it from him. And then like 40 years later, his homie from high school happened to now be the principal of the high school, and my dad went back for like a reunion or something, and the dude like gave him a fresh Letterman. And so that story always stuck with me, because it's kind of a metaphor for like everything works out, you know. And and now I have it. I wear it from time to time. It's like gigantic, because it's like football player size. My dad was just the water boy, or like the medic or something. But so it was the idea was kind of based on that. Charlie came in and was like, I have this idea for one of those tourist shirts that say like, you know, all I got was this T-shirt, and then we kind of formulated the line, because I was like, oh, it should be something like I was thinking about, we had Imagine If, and then we had Nobody's Home, and I was like, okay, there's kind of a trend here with like being kind of bummed and being in the home and being alone and disassociation and all these different things. And so we did You Broke My Heart when all I got was this T-shirt. The rest of the chorus was done in like 15 minutes, and then the verses were done within the next 2 hours, and then at the last second I changed the chords. We had a chord progression going, and then I switched it to literally the same chords as my song Rumors from Us, because I just liked the chord progression. So I just like played F and all that stuff, and then he wrote the pre in, and yeah.
But you're cool doing that, being inspired by your own music and bringing it back. But you're
usually
redressing
it's accidental, but I'll like do like little internal references to things and stuff like that. Like on Broken Hearts Club, there's like a Raining Out reference, and like there's little like internalized things, you know. And I do it intentionally, because then when I do the show, I can do like Nobody's Home and then have it be transitioned right into Raining Out, or I can, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I can do that kind of thing. I always think in the format of the show, because the tour for me is the place where it's like the dojo, where I can bring the people in and I can bring the message to them, and they have to be there and experience it for 45 minutes and really become like introspective for a moment and breathe together. We do like a breath exercise halfway through the show. I ask people how many liters of water. At least the last 2 nights I've been like, how many liters you drinking? People are like 0. I'll give them a water, you know what I mean? Like drink water, come on.
Different from Sleepover?
Different vibe than from Sleepover, for sure. The Broken Hearts Club tour is like, we intentionally wanted to make like a jazz club meets like an 80s prom, because I feel like 80s proms were the last time that people weren't like on their phones the whole time a group of people were together.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like get that across with like the Mylar strips on stage, like, and maybe you catch a reflection wrong and your phone doesn't get the moment correctly or whatever, and then you have to experience it with me.
But always immersive. That's the one thing that stays the same.
Yeah, absolutely. I want people to come into the world and forget about everything outside the door. My dad always used to say, like, when you come home, all the things you deal with and all the things outside and all that stuff, just leave it at the door and allow this to be a place you come to heal. And so I've carried that energy into my house, you know, and now where I live with our cats and Rosa and everything, like, it's always like, leave it at the door and just come in here and just relax and just whatever. And so that's what I try to create for people. I try to, it's you know, it's a dream, obviously, to be able to completely do that, but the magical kind of feeling of a Disneyland or something like that, where when you walk into that main street, you're just, what, you know, when you go under the train and you turn the corner and you're on Main Street,
just escape.
And it's just,
It's a
you're
feeling
like,
of
for
magic
the rest of
and
the day,
relief.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm at Disneyland. I'm not going to now go into the office at 3. You know what I mean? So like I'm here and it's immersive. So that's what I'm trying to do, but it's only like a 45-minute version.
Hey, really quick. I'm no math guy. I'm no stock guy. And then my friend told me about this app called Robinhood, and I checked it out, and it's kind of cool. It's an investing app that lets you pretty easily buy and sell stocks, EFTs, options, and cryptocurrency, and it allows you to do it all commission free. I don't know the first thing about stocks, but I downloaded Robinhood, checked it out, and it's easy to navigate, easy to understand, and you can buy and sell stocks in as simple as like 4 taps on your phone. Seriously, something that seems so complicated, they made so simple. Plus, it's all commission free. I don't really know, but I heard that these brokerage firms, I guess that do stock stuff too, can charge you up to $10 for a single transaction. Robinhood is totally not down for that. If you're currently investing or you're thinking about it, Robinhood, totally worth your time. At least check it out. Plus, they want to give you, my friends, a free stock. They want to make you into Daddy Warbucks. They want to give you a free Apple stock, Ford stock, Sprint stock. If you're interested, sign up right now. ZachSang.Robinhood.com. That is ZachSang.Robinhood.com.
I saw you say on Instagram Live that the purpose of this tour was to bridge the gap between the old music and the new music.
Yes, yeah.
What would you say is the big difference between the two?
I don't know if this is necessarily true, but and I don't want to like discredit the old music in any way, shape, or form because I'm still very proud of it. But the first word that came to mind is honesty.
Okay. So are you saying you were lying to yourself in the previous?
A little bit, yeah. I think accidentally I was overplaying this breakup in my head and letting it get to me in a way that I did. It was very honest at the time, but when I listen back to it and I actually look at like what happened with going through this breakup and all of these things, and then I look at some of the stuff I was saying in these songs, I'm like, that was a little much, Garrett. Like on the UEP, I say some stuff that I'm like, really? Like that, you know, it's all honest. It's all things that happen, but it's like, did it have to be so sad? Like, I don't know, but I'm glad that those things are recorded because they help people so much, you know, leave a message and songs like that. Like they're very helpful still to this day. And I'm proud of that. But this record, I took so much time with it because I really wanted to make sure that every word was true. Every word I wanted to stand by for the rest of my life, you know?
What part of music from like the pop punk era that we grew up in, right? Panic or Blink or All Time Low.
Yeah.
What from those guys do you take with you and like actually implement, or I don't want to say inspire because that's just such a.
I like the witty nature of the Blink lyrics always. I love like, you know, they're just so witty and smart. And then on the opposite end, I love the Fall Out Boy poetic thing. How it's always like, if you're just a kid passively listening, you're not 100% sure what they're talking about. But then as you grow up, you're like, oh, I get it.
And
you know,
it gets even deeper within you.
Totally, yeah. And then like, you know, I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan, and those lyrics are always super like straight up. I know that's not pop punk world, but like,
dude, banana pancakes. But you can
fantastic.
You really are like if they all had a baby. I got that when I was listening to We, and the Jack Johnson was very not prevalent, but and not obvious. But like if you know Jack Johnson's music,
right, yeah. And boy, do I know his music, man.
It's the rhythm, you know. It's like,
totally. It's just an energy that he brings to the table. It's just like this beautiful, like calm. I feel better immediately when I put a Jack record on, or anything that puts you in that mind state. And I wanted to do that for people with We. I wanted people to hit play, and by the end of it, that's why track 10 is Feel Better. Right? But technically, the album, I'm glad that I'm able to say this, is technically the album is 1 to 11, and there's 2 bonus songs, which are Hate You, Love You, and PS. So like the idea is that like if it were a movie, B would be like the closing number, song 11, credits roll on Hate You, Love You, PS is the bonus scene.
Okay.
So like I wanted people from song 1, Happy Never After, to B, by track 10, Feel Better, that's like the awakening of the album. And there's a poem into that that's like, if emotion's a wave, then sad is a title. It's a hell of a ride, but feeling is vital. Because if we don't, then we won't. No, it won't last forever. If we feel together, then then we'll feel better. And that's kind of like the beauty of the whole project to me, is that like on this journey together, instead of having to take 3 EPs to get through this process, I just took the 2 years it took me to make 3 EPs, put it into one record, and then hopefully by song 10 people can feel better, all in 35 minutes, and have a quick little turnaround of your day. Because I meditate for 39 every day. That's how long the meditation is that I do. And so 35 is how long the record is. With the bonus tracks, it's 41. I tried to get it as close to the meditation as possible, because I know it's unrealistic to ask people to sit there and meditate for 40 minutes like I do every day, but maybe they'll sit there and listen to an album once a week that does that, you know?
But they will, and also it's the right length. And I saw that in the varying song lengths.
Yeah.
Everything from 4 minutes to 2:30, I
Only
think.
Insane is the only long one. That one goes over 4 because I needed a bridge. I thought it was important because it's a little message to my family that I'll be okay no matter what.
I mean, it's for you first.
Yeah.
Is it easier to write songs when you're feeling a little more down than happy?
That's a great question. I would definitely say it's easier. More fulfilling? No, because I'm down. So I think it would almost be better for me to go like we were talking about, and go and work on feeling better, and then write a song looking back and being like, what was that feeling like? And that's what I did here a lot, is I would feel bummed. I would have a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks where I would just do nothing, lounge around, hang out with the cat, be bummed. And then something would change, or I'd start to feel right, or the energies would rise, or I'd really focus on it, or really commit to being more positive. And then I'd look back and be like, what started that? What ended that? And why did it go there? And then that's where the songs would come from.
So would you say this album was maybe not healing, but more of closure?
I think it was a little bit of both, because the whole goal the whole time was to like document. I always try to like document what I'm going through so people can then listen to it, and hopefully if they're going through it or a similar thing, be helped by it. And so I think it was healing for me to do it, but also closure by the end of the process. And like the end of the process was overall recent, because we just finished mastering on it maybe a month and a half ago. We actually technically like commercially finished the album so recently that we still don't have vinyls made, and those vinyls won't be ready till like March or something like that, because it takes long to print them.
Even though it was technically done.
The music was done in at least based on that one DM February. So
Wow.
yeah, I started writing in October of 2017, or no, sorry, June of 2017. And then I cut Imagine If in like August when I got home from Asia, and then wrote all the way to the end of the year. And then Christmas started the year, started finishing up Dear Insecurity. But I knew what songs they were going to be, is a better way to put it, by the top of the year.
Was there any part of you that was reluctant on adding I Hate You, I Love You to the album?
Yeah, a little bit. But like, I think that it's an important thing to put on the record, because I think that it's cool to do the like credits roll feeling.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? And like, I also think that like it creates this spacer between the album and PS is also really important to me. So I don't know. I think it's cool. And I think there's a lot of people that like, at the end of the day, the thing that I remember about all of the music I make is that every single one, there's somebody in the world that may be listening to this right now that they needed that song, or they need that song every single day or every week or at a time in their life. It maybe got them through something, or from like songs, like more obscure things like Oxytocin to like Get Well Soon to whatever it is. And so Hate You, Love You is obviously like the queen of that, right? You know what I mean? It's like the one that apparently
it sparked everything
everybody needed.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for that. So why not put it on the record? And maybe there's people that haven't heard it yet, right? Why not? It's like it's an automatic connection point, obviously. So
100%.
And I would rather allow people to have the opportunity to feel better by it than be like, oh yeah, that was big, I'm too cool for that, push it in the past. You know what I mean? Like, why not just embrace it? And also there's also something like full circle to me about that, in a gratitude and a thankfulness way.
Because that sparked a lot of stuff for you.
Right. And I think that I was never properly thankful for that. And I think putting it on the record is my acknowledgement to that song. It's like giving it a blessing and saying like, you know, like, thank you and good night.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to ask about the song pajamas because
Yeah.
you say pajamas.
Yeah.
And when I was listening, I was like, that honestly caught my ear. I was like, we say the word differently.
You say pajamas?
I say pajamas, and in the
you
song
say pajamas, I'll say pajamas.
And I just thought, I was like, I love the vibe of the song, I love the sound, and then I heard that, I was like, whoa,
Dan
you
says
never said pajamas?
I say pajamas.
he says a lot of things
What do you say?
weird. Pajamas.
Me too. What do you say?
Pajamas.
Ethan? Pajamas.
I think so. We're 2 and 3.
Bananas in pajamas.
Yeah, but that's just because
under
bananas
the
had to rhyme with
stairs.
pajamas.
Well, that's how I was introduced maybe to pajamas and bananas.
Let's stay in our pajamas. It has more nasal things.
It does.
Changes it all.
Can you sing the line with pajamas?
Yeah, let's stay in our pajamas. Let's not leave the house.
All right, let's do
Let's
pajamas.
stay in our pajamas. Let's not leave the
No.
I guess pajamas does sound
It's
better.
almost more like spiritual your way. it has more of like a drone tone to it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Maybe I'll
Dan.
throw that in sometimes. But yeah, no, that's funny. I love that song. And that one, we're playing that one on tour, and everybody, that seems to be their favorite, man. It's just such a great, it feels so good. I'm so happy with that
It feels
song.
so good, yeah.
I love that song so much.
I paraphrase, but do the trees think we are greedy?
Yeah, man.
Air thinks we're all crooks?
That's definitely in my top 5 favorite
So
bars
good.
on the record.
Water thinks we're too needy?
Yeah. I wonder if the trees think we're all greedy, if the air thinks we're all crooks, if the water thinks we're too needy, and if the sun gives us dirty looks.
Totally.
I don't know. Yeah, that
They
one is
definitely
cool.
do.
Yeah, and to be honest, I want to say thank you to the songwriters that were involved on this album. That one came to me from Jimmy Robbins in Nashville, who I worked with a bunch on the record, who I mentioned earlier. Him and oh God, do you know his name offhand, Ethan? I'm blanking on his name. I know he has the band, the Kid Project, but I don't know his first name. He's an amazing songwriter as well. But they wrote that idea, Pajamas, and sent it to me after I had been with Jimmy for a week in Nashville. And he knew the part of the story that I needed. And so they aimed to make that song for me.
Oh, wow.
And that meant so much. And so when I got that, to be honest, I was like, the song is great. And originally it was, the whole world's gone bananas and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to say bananas. So we changed it to Don't Understand Us. But what really got me about that song is that second verse. I teared up, man. I wonder if the trees think we're all... I was
Yeah.
like...
Because
People need to hear that. It's the same way I felt about Imagine If. Jason Reeves wrote Imagine If. And when I heard Imagine If, I needed to hear it, like I was talking about earlier. Teared up the same way. And when I connect with a song like that, I know that there's an opportunity that maybe no artist will bring that song to the world.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a responsibility, like we were talking about before, to bring that song into the world. And I think Pajamas is like that one
I get
in that
it.
situation where I was like, I have to bring this to people. This is important for people to hear. And when I do it every night, right before I do that part, because there's a music break, I always say, listen to this next part. It's very important to me. And then I do that, and you can see everybody's faces be like, I've never thought about it that way before. You know, that's one of my favorite things to do, is make people say that. That's like one of my favorite things about Jack's music or any of my favorite songwriters, John Lennon or anybody, is I've never thought about it that way before. That's kind of our job, right? Is to help people think about things in a way that...
But all things we all understand.
That's because there's a universal consciousness to everything. Mm-hmm. There's one floating plane of smart, and we're all just tapping in at different times, you know?
Yeah, hopefully we're all tapping in more consistently.
I would hope that people in power start to tap in a little bit more too, man. But we're the ones in power.
Yes.
We, man.
We. Amen.
I heard you say that was one of your favorite bars. Do you consider, do you write like a rapper or do you write like a singer?
I don't want to call myself a rapper, because then I'm going to have to go do
A poet.
hip hop radio shows where they
Yeah.
press me about being a rapper. But
Don't do that.
maybe I will eventually. I don't know. Those scare me.
Yeah, they're
And I don't want to
scary.
be like, I don't know. I just want to help people. But I grew up listening to everything, you know? So
Yeah.
I just think about things in statements. I like powerful statements. And then I tend to when I'm in a session with people, especially when I'm working on other stuff, everybody calls it the G pocket, because someone will have a chord progression idea, and I'll be like, what if it's ba-ba-na-na-ba-dum-na-ba-na-gum-ba-bumba? That's how I do it in the session, and they're like, cool, man, what are you gonna say there? I'm like, I don't know yet. I just know that's how it should go. So I guess I think about things like flows first.
Okay.
And that's why I said bars, and then I convert them to singing if I need to, if the song calls for it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have very quotable lyrics. If you look like the comment section, people are always like picking out little lyrics like, this one hit me. I felt that one.
Yeah. I just try to bring it to people in a way that maybe they haven't thought about it before. And I know that there are lines and there are things that may help people. And so why not give them the opportunity to feel better? Maybe I might have missed them otherwise.
Dude, this album's phenomenal.
Thanks.
It's worth everybody's ear. It's called We. You gotta listen.
Do you ever consider cutting your hair, or are you gonna like?
No, it's long right now. It's
Yeah, I know.
always long.
I know it was up there, but I was like, he's had it for so long. I wonder if he ever considers.
I consider it all the time, but
It's
then,
so cool.
Yeah, I love my hair, but I consider just shaving it. I think Rosa and I are both gonna shave our heads and donate it when when she's ready.
Right on.
We'll do it at the same time because I'm ready whenever, man. But yeah, we want to do that, and we're doing little stuff on the road, like for different animal organizations and stuff. Both of our pets are adopted, so like we made a hat at the meet and greet last night, and we said Hazy and Maisie did it. We're gonna put it on sale in Austin for $100, and if someone buys it, we'll give them money to ASPCA.
Oh,
that's awesome.
We got
Great.
Maisie for $25 through them, so and now we'll have it for like 19 years or whatever. Knock on wood, you know. So.
Do you thrive alone, or are you like a person who has to be with somebody?
What's the line? I like being alone, but I don't like being lonely.
Yeah.
I said that on Tell Me It's Okay. That's kind of what it is. I like once I'm alone, I don't like it anymore, and when I'm with somebody, I long to be alone. So like, I don't really know which one I prefer. I can't really answer it.
Feel you on that one.
But like, I think everybody deserves time to think and space to think. That's what I believe. I really know that I'll have made it when I have two houses, one to live in and one to think in. And in my thinking house, I just want one of those like super chillin' chairs, like the one with like the
Yes.
you know what I'm talking
You're
about.
like a lazy boy.
Yeah, but not the lazy, like the classy one, the leather one with the wood back that like therapists have and like
Yes.
fancy businessmen have.
Oh, I know. They had
With,
one
like,
on the set of iCarly for
It's
some
like a Herman
reason.
Miller.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're so expensive.
Oh, dude, I know.
V
That's why I
fancy.
said when I've really made it. But yeah, I want one of those, and just that, and just like a bookshelf of like The Power of Now 150 times,
And that's it.
Like, yeah, that's
Nothing
it.
else.
And just like, oh, what am I gonna read today? I guess Eckhart, you know, like, yeah, because I'll need it that many times to hear it, man. But yeah, I've just. Oh, another thing is books, man. Do you read it all? Do you guys read it all?
I wish.
I wish I liked reading, but as soon as I open a book, my eyes just close.
My dad's like that too. Some people just knock out. I think
Yeah.
that's bedtime stories' faults.
Yeah.
From growing up and us being
Goodnight
trained.
Moon ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, man. But also like made my life. Like the
Yes.
art in that and the colors in that, I find myself using like all the time. Rugrats colors, I always lean towards purple. I always lean towards that green they used.
Did you know,
like,
25 years ago today, Susie Carmichael was introduced to the world?
whoa.
Yes.
Is that a fact of today?
That is a fact of today.
That's cool.
She had a cool dress, yellow, and I think there was like purple moments
There's
on there.
Yeah, there's the purple moments.
And the patterns.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah, you're right. The colors, but even back to Goodnight Moon, I remember to see it was the shine of the book matched with like also the dullness of the colors. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was yeah.
And like that's like goals for me.
Beautiful.
I want to do that eventually. I want to do little books. I don't know in what form or whatever.
Do you draw?
I do, but not like. I mean, look, who draws well, right? You know, it's
art,
beauty's in the
man.
eye of the beholder.
Amen.
And art is just your own. So I have a journal that I've written in almost every day of the year so far. And what I've been doing is creating a prompt for myself, writing thoughts about it, and then on this side, drawing a picture of one moment that I like really remembered from the day to try and like be retroactively present in that moment in case I wasn't then. So even if it's just like I was driving and I saw like some nice palm trees or whatever, I'll just draw a little quick picture of it. Or like the first night I drew like my dresser with the TV and then I wrote on the TV like I feel better now, you know? Just little stuff like that just to like activate the left side of my brain, because so much of my days right now have been the right side with album and tour and all the things that are important, and they're helping.
Business.
But
Would you say that's business? Not art?
there's an art to the business, but
Of course.
but I'm very thankful that I have a manager who like does an amazing job and is fantastic. And so I deal with as little of that stuff as possible, because she and I have kind of made an agreement that it's important for me always to be as present and grateful and connected with the individual I'm communicating with. And so if I'm interrupted to like do a liner or whatever, that will break that moment, or that could break the thought process I'm on, or whatever. So everybody definitely like is very cautious and everything, because to me it's like I never want to like have a moment spoiled by the idea of like, well, like there's a monetary gain, because I believe that like monetary gain will come if you're doing the work that you're destined to do. And so like I believe that like in this life I want to help people. I'm here to help, and in whatever way, you know, if that's an extra $1 on the tip, or that's a smile when I'm walking down the block, like that's what I want to do every single day. And so I know that because that's my main goal, and I set that as my goal every day, especially when I'm having a good day or a positive day, I know the monetary gain will come. It's always going to be there when it needs to be there. If you're doing your best to be the best you can be every day. And I will admit, I'll be the first to admit, I have not always been the best me that I can be every single day. That is a fact.
But it's acknowledging it that allows you to have a better track record.
Absolutely. And I feel a lot better now than I did in the past, and I'm grateful to be here with you guys, man. Like, this is my only interview for album release day.
Thank you.
And
it's our first interview of the year.
That's right, it is.
Everything works out how it's supposed to.
Yep.
It's crazy how like that statement has gotten me through the darkest stuff. And like I just have always just trusted that. And I'll get on the phone with A&R and be like, man, the waiting for this. And he's like, I know, the waiting. We got to get the album out. That's what he always says. We got to get the album out. I'm like, come on, Jeff, let's get the album out.
It's on you,
then.
bro.
And now it's pretty much out.
And now it's out tonight. Or it's
Today.
out. Yeah,
It's out,
today.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I set the timer wrong on my Instagram countdown, so I keep seeing that it's tonight, and it's now.
Well, the world would be a much better place if everyone thought like you.
Yeah.
The world would be a much better place if I appreciate that compliment, but the world would be a much better place if everybody was like 3 steps ahead of where I am right now. But if everybody was, it's
a process.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a process. Like I'm not there, man. I'm still growing and still going every single day, and like I want to tackle the things that are deep rooted that make me unhappy. And so that's the next step. Is I've been so wrapped up with this record and getting on tour and getting the show right, and you know, I've already got the stage design locked for the We tour that's gonna happen later and all that kind of stuff. So like I'm always 2 or 3 tours ahead. I'm always like 3 or 4 projects ahead. So like I've got all that stuff rocking. But now actually over the next year here, while we're doing all this stuff, I'm gonna take time with my therapist and with myself to really dive in and figure out what it is that makes me tick in the ways that I don't like that I tick, and the things that I find myself having to work against every day, I just want to eliminate, and not live with like fear or worry or doubt or ego or anxiety or regret or any of these things that I carry on my shoulders every day, but just accept that life is what it is, and like and to be appreciative of that present moment. And I think if I've set that as my personal goal, and if everybody sets that or something similar, I'm not saying I have the answer. I'm not your guru, right? I'm not out here. That's the Tony Robbins thing. I'm not out here to be like, hey man, just listen to me and everything will be fine. Like everybody's got their own journey. Everybody's going to have their own path in life. But I know that mine personally is like, I want to help, and I want to be the best me that I can be every day, because I know what it feels like to not be that. And I'm happier now than I was then.
Respect.
So, yeah, man.
Respect. And I motivation, success, money comes along with it. That Tesla you got, is that from Lights Down Low? Come on. That song's a big song.
Yeah, it was a big song, wasn't it?
Big enough for a Tesla?
I'm so thankful for Max, man.
Me too.
Love him.
I love that record, dude.
I love him.
I got a plaque right there for it.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, you should sign it too.
Yeah, your face isn't on it though.
No.
Max's face took up the whole thing.
But it's his song, man. I'm just thankful. Every time something crazy would happen, I just text him and be like, thank you for allowing me to be with you on this ride. Because that was actually, that Lights Down Low was extremely comforting to me, because the entire time I was making the record, that was popping off.
But for a long time.
And Max was out there grinding it out
like crazy
without me, and just putting me on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did I get so lucky? Like,
he's a good man.
He's such a good man.
He went to every radio market like twice.
I know.
He's
I know.
been to every city in this country
I'll
so many
never
times.
understand really everything that he did to like make sure that people understood how important that song is to him. But I do know that like I'm so thankful because no matter how like locked up in this album I was or whatever else, I always kind of knew I had this like security deposit rolling, which was like the fact that like I had a friend in the world who every single day was like saying my name to people that like otherwise wouldn't be thinking about me. And that actually many a day like saved me from getting like horribly depressed and like saved me from all of these things when I wasn't fully totally where I wanted to be yet mentally and was still dealing with this like doubt of myself with post Hate You Love You and all those things. And like and at the same time, like, yeah, I should have like, you know, I should have like gotten myself up and like picked myself up from the belt straps or whatever the phrase is, bootstraps or whatever, and been like, you're gonna be okay and all that. But like, it was so nice that I had that, and I'm so thankful for him.
Dude,
yeah, and his new stuff's great, man. I'm excited.
the right amount of everything, right?
Yeah,
and
I like that phrase.
it really did keep you relevant. I say
Yeah.
that with the most love in my heart.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I
know.
love him.
Yeah.
Good
Thank God for
person.
Max.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
God
Well, that's the word that always would scare me was relevant.
I know. I get
Because
it.
it's like for so long you're like to the public eye irrelevant. But to yourself, you're just Garrett, you know what I'm saying? Or you're just Zach, or you're just Dan, you're just chilling. And then all of a sudden you're relevant. And then you're irrelevant.
and Ryan Seacrest isn't mispronouncing your name on Jimmy Fallon. And then you're like, how am I going to get a moment again?
Yeah. And like,
Gnash.
yeah, but that was awesome, man. He's so cool, man. But like like relevance was like the scary thing, and that's something I had to let go of because I realized that relevance was coming from a source of ego. And I was doing Reiki when I was in Big Sur. I did a Reiki session after a massage, and I realized that I carry worry, fear on my back, behind my heart, and ego and anxiety on those shoulders, just like that. And so like throughout this beginning of the year here, I've been like progressively like letting go of those things. And anytime I feel stressed or I start to worry about things, I close my eyes and I think like, where are my shoulders? And every time there's at least a half an inch they can drop down.
Wow.
Because they're getting lifted up.
Yeah.
Because it's stress and the muscles are tense and all the things, and I'm grinding my teeth and all these things, and it's all climbing in, and you just go, you just let them drop. You gotta let it go. You can't live with that stuff.
Yeah. I'll let you
Relevance is
know.
relevance. The songs exist and they help people every single day.
You're right.
I've done a job already. I haven't done the job, but I've done so much and like so little time, and I'm proud of that. And so like those are the things I'd hang on to. You know what I mean? Because like if I was coming out right now and it was like ain't nobody wanted to talk to me or whatever, I know y'all would, because like we always have a good hang. And like I know that there are people all over the world that care to hear, like, and I'm so thankful for that idea alone, man. It's so crazy. Like,
Does success take on a new meaning?
yeah, success now for me is happiness.
It's great.
Yeah.
Hard.
And wealth is what I bring to the world. And if I'm doing those things, if I'm delivering my best and I feel great, then I'm winning in my head. And that's all I've got to hold on to at the end of the day. Everybody else could go away, you know, house could go, cat could go, dog could go, girl could go, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you have to have your own back. You have to know that like you're going to be all right no matter what. And so like all of those things are the things you start adding into your thankful breathing. You're like, well, I do have that. Wow. I do have the cat. Wow. I do have the house. Wow. You start adding these things in, and then you're like, I got it pretty good. I'm gonna go get a breakfast burrito. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. Dude, I appreciate you deeply. Very, very
I love
deep.
you guys. Thanks for having me here.
We appreciate you.
Haha.
We do too.
We is definitely worth your ear. If you haven't given it a shot yet, you need to. Dude, amazing album, incredible story you're telling.
Thank you.
I appreciate you deep, and you're doing amazing work.
Yeah, and I'd like to leave it. Could we just take a deep breath together?
I would love
All right,
that.
cool. All right, so what I'd like to do is if we could just count down from 3. Anybody listening, feel free to do it at home. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I get to 1, we're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and we're just going to think about the first thing that we're thankful for that comes to mind, and we're going to feel that thing in our soul. And when we open our eyes, we'll be more grateful for that thing than we were when we started. Cool. 3, 2, 1. Nice. I thought about my mom.
So did I.
Really?
Yeah. I love my mom.
That's cool.
I didn't think about my mom. I thought about all this.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
so sick.
And you and everybody who works here.
I'm thankful for this too, because like this is like your dojo. You brought me here, like I'm bringing people to the tour. You know what I
But
mean? And
yeah.
now you get to deliver this to the world. We're
I'm
the vehicle for someone smiling today.
Yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
It's an incredible thing, and it's something that I should really never take for granted, and nobody should, because at the end of the day, this is, I don't know, it's a canvas that could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, too, what this is an opportunity for other incredible minds, and just not necessarily enlightened, but just a host of different people to get
Right.
their thoughts and
Right.
stories out there that can help and change so many
the other thing
lives.
too is like when I got here, I was like, "How long you been here today?" And you're like, "Oh, too long," right?
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's okay to feel. It's okay to have a weird day. It's okay to not feel great. It's okay to have a long day. It's okay to whatever. But it's never too late to hit the restart button. Every video game's got a console, got a restart button on it, right?
Yeah.
And us humans do too. If you just have to just take that moment and just like, you know, I just thought about my mom for 2 seconds and I'm already gonna have a better next 10 minutes. You gotta breathe. You gotta take time. You gotta think. You gotta drink water. Be grateful. Send love and trust and positive energy to everything you can, even if you don't necessarily feel it at the moment, because it'll come right back around and hit you right in the head, right where you need it to.
Appreciate you, sir. Nash,
I love you guys.
everybody.
Thank
Love
you. Tell somebody you love them today.
Dude, you're amazing.
Thanks for having me.
You're great. I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.